Manchester United have already signed record-breaking 16-year-old Chido Obi-Martin this summer and 16-year-old Samuel Lusale from Crystal Palace this summer. Now, Man United have agreed a deal to sign 18-year-old Sekou Kone, who shone at the U17s FIFA World Cup with Mali, helping them to the semi-final back in 2023. And I'm about to tell you everything you need to know about him and how it looks very much like United's new Global Director of Talent, Christopher Vivell, has just made his first signing. It's not just with first-team signings that Manchester United have been busy this summer. Academy signings as well, and you can add Sekou Kone's name to that list. United have agreed a deal to sign the 18-year-old midfielder, and what I'm going to tell you in this video is who is Sekou Kone. Some top-level information about his game. What position does he play? What are some of his standout assets? We're going to look at some examples from him playing at the Under-17s World Cup, and I want to have a little conversation overall about United's recruitment and Christopher Vivell, of course, who we brought in this summer as our Global Director of Talent. That's exactly the sort of signing that is. Let me know what you think in the comments and make sure you drop a like on the video, right? But Sekou Kone, Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Manchester United have agreed a deal to sign him from, where is it? Gidars FC. He's 18, and Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic has followed up on that with a little bit more information, all right? Man United have agreed a deal to sign him. He is a defensive midfielder, which will be music to the ears of all United fans, because we know we need one of them. And this will be a future signing. And that's the first thing I would say here. This is not a signing for the first team. This is Manchester United building the quality inside our academy teams. He's going to play with the under-21s while he adjusts to life in England. But these sorts of signings for United fans will always get fans excited. It's the unknown entity. And Christopher Vivell was brought in, as I said, as Manchester United's Director of Global Talent, coming in to help spot players who maybe haven't quite burst through into the top level yet. But if you sign the right ones around about this age and you help coach them, by the time they're 19 and 20, they are settled at your club and they're ready for first-team football. Now, Vivell, he came from Chelsea previously, and it all went wrong there. Everything's going wrong at Chelsea. But he previously worked at Salzburg. And this, for me, strikes me as the sort of signing that Salzburg will be able to make. He'd be able to play first-team football a lot sooner with a lot less scrutiny than would happen at Manchester United. I wouldn't expect him anywhere near the first-team environment for a while. But just some information here on a couple of his performances from Scouted Football. If you haven't checked out Scouted Football, I would encourage you to do so. You'll always be sort of able to keep an eye out for the next generation of players coming through. And just some info on a couple of his performances here from the Under-17s World Cup. Average height, long legs, slight frame, plenty of room to fill out, lots of recoveries, good reading of the game, decisive take on down there against France. Looks to spread play across the pitch, solid touch and technique, really switched on when covering space in midfield. And that's a massive thing that Manchester United need. Certainly. Probably now and in the future. We take a look at his heat map from the tournament as well. And by the way, with Mali at the Under-17 World Cup, they got to the semi-final and lost to France. Not bad. You can see from his heat map, he was all over the pitch, and you would kind of expect that at that age. The best players really do stand out. But here are some examples of Kone in action. And this is probably going to be the one that stands out. You can see him receiving the ball there, a quick 1-2 with a teammate, passes it again, another 1-2, a nice touch, a lovely pass with the outside of his right foot. Not bad. Good technique on show. Good with the ball at his feet. An example here. Receives the ball there, but drives through the space, uses his frame, and gets the pass away. And that lovely pass through the space. Very nice. All these are just examples to sort of show you what sort of player he is, because at the age of 17, players aren't complete. At the age of 17, players have years to develop. But it's about spotting the talent, and it's exactly why we were all, maybe not we were all, why I was excited about Vivell coming in, while the rest are working on first-team signings, also bring in signings to bolster the academy. And another example here, receives the ball, just a nice touch and turn into space, simple pass away. Good awareness, good movement. An example here, this is him on the edge of the box, spotting the danger, stopping the counter-press. Well, no, that is counter-pressing, stopping the counter-attack. A nice enough pass into the box. And one last example here. Again, just good awareness. Believe that's him over there. Good awareness, covers the space, gets his foot in. Tackle. Simple. Done. For me, these are the sorts of signings I think that will really... These are the ones that I think can change the trajectory of Manchester United in the long term, right? It's been a long time since we've uncovered like a proper gem. You remember when we signed Javier Hernandez before the World Cup? I think we signed it from Guadalajara. And everyone was like, who's this guy? Who's this kid? Nailed it at the World Cup in Mexico, came to United, and everybody loved him. Those sorts of signings. And in my opinion, they are the signings that, in the course of Manchester United's history, have allowed us to get the likes of Rooney. And Rooney was a little bit different, okay? Everyone knew about Rooney. Ronaldo, Vidic and Evra, they weren't exactly ready-made products when they came to the club. And Sekou Kone is going to fall into that category. And for United this summer, he's not the only one. Chido Obi-Martin, all right, the record-breaking 16-year-old, has been brought in from Arsenal's academy. And that's a little bit different. That's domestically. You're seeing him playing the same under-18s league, well, the League South, that United under-18s are playing in. So it's a little bit easier to spot him. And Samuel Lusale being brought in from Crystal Palace. Both of those are domestic youth team signings. Lenny Yoro is a different one, but that's a player who's first team ready. You imagine that. It's like, that's the craziness of it all. Lenny Yoro is 18, the same age as Sekou Kone. He's out there playing in Mali, and Yoro is now a £52 million signing for Manchester United. But Kone has been brought in to bolster our options for the future. You've now got an 18-year-old Lenny Yoro who's a prospect at central defence at the first team level. You've now got 16-year-old Chido Obi-Martin, who is a massive prospect. 16-year-old prospect in the attacking position as a striker. You've got Lusale, who's been brought in as a 16-year-old winger. And now you've brought in 18-year-old defensive midfielder Sekou Kone, who really shone at the World Cup, the Under-17s World Cup with Mali. And now Man United have decided to move and bring him in. And for me, I've said it there at the start and I'll say it here again at the end. It strikes me as probably the first example I think we've got of Christopher Vivell doing his work. This is a player who was heavily linked with a move to Salzburg, and it's the sort of signings that I think United fans over the years have become jealous of. Like, we were offered Moises Caicedo for €2 million, and we turned it down. He went to Brighton and then was sold on to Chelsea for what, €120 million? A year or two later? I don't even know how long he was there for. This is not me saying that Sekou Kone is going to be the next Moises Caicedo, and I say this about every player. He's the first Sekou Kone. Kobbie Mainoo is the first Kobbie Mainoo. So don't be comparing him to anybody and saying, oh, this is who he's going to be, and the expectations come. This isn't a video about expectations. This is a video about me telling you what the news is and giving you a little bit of insight, maybe, into what sort of player he is. Now, if I can, I will do my research and try and bring you a bit more information. Try and find out more about the player that United are bringing in. But this summer has seen United sign lots of quality to our first team, all right? In the likes of De Ligt, in the likes of Yoro and Xerxes and Mazraoui. And now we're bringing in some of the best youngsters from around the world that have been spotted, and hopefully United scouts and Christopher Vivell get it right. And if they do, you unearthed gems. And that, for me, that will always be the most exciting type of United signing.